everyone, today I am going to be comparing my two copies of Johanna's Christmas. Now I've completed both copies. One was quite a long time ago and one I have only just finished colouring. Both of them took me 2 or 3 years each to do because I did a few pictures in each over the festive season. So let's get going. So we will flip open both books. The top book is my most recent book, and this one is the later book. You can see that the two main pages there are fairly similar. And if we open these out, you can have a look. This top one here is my, as I say, is my more recent book. It's done with metallic pen. This one is done with glitter pen. Now I think this one certainly looks brighter and more sparkly. As I say, these two are quite similar, I think. We're using this one has got a little bit of sparkle glitter pen on though. I don't know how easy it is to see, but there's a little bit of the mistletoe berries are silver. So that's the main difference, apart from some of the colours used. So there we go. We turn over. Oh, let's pull those pages in. Looks a little bit neater. So as I say, this is the older book, and this page here is actually coloured in gel pen. It's got a little bit of green Posca pen, I think, on the ivy leaves. This one is coloured in pencil. So they're quite different actually, which is quite interesting. We still got the red and white stripe around the centre, but there's quite a difference between them. Now the nameplate pages I think are really quite interesting. Unfortunately my writing hasn't improved at all over the years, but you see this initial book I've tried to make it look a little bit gold and silver by using grey and light yellow, whereas the gold on this one is a lot better, and the shine on these I think is a lot nicer. But hey, I think both are very nice and interesting. Now let's turn over. This side first. Again, I've tried to go for a gold, but I think this one is much more vibrant. And interestingly, I've done a blue decorations, whereas I've chosen red on this page. Now when I first saw this picture, let me just push up a tiny bit, I wasn't keen on the fact that our stag was on a wall. You know, it wasn't appealing to me. So I tried to make him look like he was out in the wild. So I just coloured over the top really hard with a dark green to try and hide the sort of plinth, I suppose. I covered it over in white gel pen on the body, but not on the grass. But it's not that brilliantly well hidden. And I drew a bit of a background in, but actually I prefer this one with the wooden wall behind, and the stag I think has improved a lot. But there we go. So this is our wreath. It's very interesting to see that the colours are almost identical. I think the reason for that is these plants for me look very much like some we had some artificial ones on a candle holder which look quite like this when I was growing up. But here I whited out the black lines and tried a sort of a background on that, and this one I didn't. So that's quite interesting, I think, to see the difference. Now our Christmas tree. So here I've gone multicoloured. So we've got a plain green background. I think that's pencil, just quite hard pencil, and then I've used, I think again it might be pencil, yes it is, with a glitter pen around the edge of each of the colours. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up because it's not very glittery anymore. I think the glitter has rubbed off, so there's glitter pen around the edge of each of those colours to try and make it shine. It's not really shining that well. Whereas on this one I decided to try and create my own shine with pencil by doing a gold, silver and bronze effect on the different parts of the tree. Okay, what's coming next? Aha, we have our reindeer. Now this one I've done a pastel background, and we've got a gold pen around the edge. I think it's a glitter pen, but again it's lost a bit of its glitter. I remember doing this for Christmas card from my parents. I coloured it in the book and then I scanned it in and I printed it out as a Christmas card, a small one. I shrunk it down. I don't know if we're really supposed to do that with the copyright of the books. I think if we're giving it away, it's not so bad. We shouldn't be really photocopying or scanning in the pages. It's really naughty. So I probably shouldn't have done that. But anyway, this one I wanted something really different and a bit more muted. I was thinking let's go a bit more classy than the really bright red Christmas colours, although I really like them. I have lots of bright red in my house when it comes to Christmas. Okay, oh look, the pastel, look at the mess. Interesting. Now we have a huge contrast here. So on this page, obviously I was experimenting with the background and we kept all the ornaments the same. Here we've gone really different, so they're all different colours. I've been trying to make them some bits look a little bit gemstone-y. I really like that one, that's very pretty. So that was interesting how different they are. I have to say, I think I prefer this one, really. I think the white sets it off really well. I think there's too much going on in that picture. Right, we have two candy gingerbread houses, both quite dark. We have a background in both, which is interesting. This one has a little bit of silver on the snow, just in places. I don't know if it's possible to see. I rather like that I tried to make a smoky chimney on that one, which was fun. But you can see how different. I've done them both in a symmetrical design. I think I prefer the candies on this one. Those look a little bit random with all their different colours. But, you know, that's okay. But I like the coloured roof on that one better than this one. Very interesting. Okay. Now I think I coloured this page quite a few times because Johanna ran it as a competition. And there's actually a free download of this one. So if you don't have the book, you can go to Johanna Basford's website and find the free download and colour it yourself. So interestingly, we've got very little background going on here, and our I think the water and the actually a lot of it is better in this picture, I feel. The colours of the presents are quite fun, having it bright and cheery. I do like his scarf, but I like that scarf too. What I've done with the polar bear is I've used some greys to make him stand out from the white background and put some shading in, which was probably, might have been a good idea to a little bit on there, although he really stands out because he's white, so maybe that was my plan. Though I'm looking carefully, I can see there's a tiny bit of shading on him, actually. Right, so this page, in this book I did this page all in Fineliners. So I used Staedtler Fineliners, I think. I'm just looking, looks like it. I don't think I've got any other type of pen markers, so that was interesting. Whereas this one is in pencil with a little bit of a shiny pen on top of the leaves, interestingly. Now here we have quite a difference. So I did a background and quite a lot of silver and gold pen. I don't know how well you can see it on this page. And it looks very crowded, I think, because of that background. I think this one looks better without one. The things stand out for themselves a little more. I do like the addition of the gold and silver pen on this one. I think that's quite fun. Oh, that page is a bit loose. Now we have a big contrast here. I really like this picture. I did this one last year. I think it's lovely. This one they're all different colours. This guy's got his boots coloured in pen and all the others are in pencil. And I've got no idea why I did that. It's quite strange. But they all look a little bit flat, I think. But having all being a different colour is quite fun. And his hat looks quite similar. Here. Ah yes, this is very nice. I prefer this one immediately, like this colour scheme. So we've got cold greens for this page, and I think it's really good fun doing something that's because it's symmetrical, having similar colours. I think it works really well. I really like that. This one is still a limited colour palette, but I just prefer the other. It's a personal taste thing, isn't it? Now these two are very different as well. This page I adore. This background took me about 10 years, probably not quite that long, but you know, it's a couple of different Posca pen, polychromos pencils and then lots and lots of blending. The paper feels really smooth where it's been blended so much to get that sort of sky effect. It's a bit luminous, neon-y in places, but anyway, and I really like the bright colours on the candy houses. Now this one I went for pastel just for something different, and I think I like it, but I prefer the brighter colours. It's just me personally. I like pastel colours in their place, but maybe not for this particular picture so much compared with the other. Now there's a big difference here as well. This one, as I said in my yesterday when I did my flip through of just this book, a lot of these were done from tutorials and they were a lot of fun. It took me a long time. This one is a bit different. I just did everything different and random. Again, it still seemed to take a long time because there were so many elements on this page. But, you know, lots of fun. I definitely prefer that one. So here we have our two birds. Now actually I like both these pages. This blue bird I really liked when I did it. I had a lot of fun with it, and we've got different colour presents and it all stands out really well from the white background. So I think that shows you don't always need a background. This one, I think he works because he's bright, so he does stand out, but I think had we done some sky, that bird would have been completely lost. So I think it just shows you that sometimes a background is good and sometimes it isn't. I have a feeling, yes, these pages are very similar. But I did a window in the background of this one. It's because I was daunted by the amount of blank space, so I filled it in with something. And windows are so easy. You just use a ruler, draw it, and off you go. I made some little snow in the corners and things like that. This wooden thing, I think it looks better than that one. But anyway, there we go. And with this I kept to a limited colour palette for the ornaments and the presents and the items on the tree to try and make it all tie together. Now the rabbit is in the wrong place. Hang on. Seem to have a bit of a situation. Where's the gramophone? I think we've lost him. I think he must have fallen out because the rabbit's loose. Hang about. Bear with me. No, we'll have to, I'll just put him to the side. We'll have to see if it's here. I may have lost it because some of the pages have come out. I might have given it to someone, I don't know. So there's the gramophone one with its sort of limited colour palette again. Aha, here's the owls. So this one I had great fun doing. I love this picture, but you can see how, from looking at the crowns, how the gold is better, I think, on that one than this one, although I could still improve that looking at it now. And the same with the eyes and things like that, and the feathers. But I had a lot of fun with both of these. I just love this design. Okay, next we have our snow globes. They're actually quite similar in a way, I think. The background, this one sort of fades upwards a little bit, could do with blending, but never mind, that's okay. And we've got more of a coloured base compared with this one. I was trying to make it look a little bit jewelled, but didn't really come off. And we had a bit of a problem with this page. I didn't get too upset about it. Now this one I was thinking blue ice, so I just went for a blue scheme. I think it works really well on this page. This one I had a mad moment, and I'm not a fan of that picture, but hey ho, it's colourful. Let's give it that. What have we got next? This is interesting to compare these two. They're quite similar. I drew in things in the background on both because I found it quite daunting to colour in all that background, and actually both walls are the same colour. This one's just got one very light layer and this one's got more. I drew in the panelling obviously on this one. This one I did a window again, but I put in some fairy lights on the top of that, but I don't know why I didn't do them on that side as well. Who knows? I'm not sure. I do think this is better. You can see the improvement, but I like more colourful stockings on that page, but we've got fluffy stockings on here. Okay, we have our horse. Now, you can see they're quite different. I had this sort of idea to do this checkerboard background because I thought it would be easier, and it was. So we've got checkerboard wallpaper with a carpet. So that was the idea there. I really like the horse as well. I'm not quite so keen on that one now I've seen this. I don't know about that bit though. It doesn't really seem to match because there's no blue anywhere else. But hey ho. Now we have these. Now, as I said in my video yesterday, this was inspired by Gail Newby's picture, so it's not an original idea by me, so I used her idea. This one, these are mine. I just had a go. I think we've got a tutorial for this one somewhere. It might not be that specific one, it might be one from the there's a download with someone. There's also a tutorial with one like this, but it isn't that one. It's slightly different. So that was fun. Now we've got our clock, and then they're quite different. I remember doing this one and then thinking how it looked like the EU flag, which was quite fun, but I think I prefer the dark wood, but they're both fairly similar. We have, oh, we need to go, there's our that page. There he is. So this one has been done in, I'm not sure if that's a glitter pen to make those all shiny. So you can see, yeah, I think that wooden box is better on that one. I think I prefer that one. So we need to oops, put that to the side. Oops. So here's our this page. I definitely prefer this picture. As I said, this was when this became a complete disaster. So anyway, this one, I really think these flowers look really nice actually. Now we have two very different hearts. Neither of these were coloured at Christmas. This one was done for because it was my anniversary or something, I think. So I thought pink would be really pretty. And this one I wanted to make it look like there were jewels and it was a nice red colour. So they're quite different. I like both of them. Oh, can't turn the page. Oh, this is the disaster page coming up. You have to, let's just change, you can't see that for a minute. So on the other side of this, you can see a clue from the red. I did red pastel background, really bright red, and I'd already done all of these swirly bits in glitter pen. I went over it in pastel and it smudged, it didn't smudge, but it made the whole page covered in glitter. It took the glitter off where it should have been and spread it all over, and it looked like, I don't know, it was just horrible. So I tore the page out, and it is the only time I had ever done that in a book. I tore the page out and I threw it away. Never done that before or since. It was just such a mess, and also had no fixative, and that red pastel, as you can see, was going everywhere. So I got rid of it and then just did this side in Fineliners and just enjoyed it without worrying about. I could probably erase that, but anyway, that's that one. And this one again I just did in a simple palette. So we have our two robins. You can see the different here on the poinsettias. I've actually used some Posca pens to give me some texture on the centres. I've used some yellow pen, whereas these are a lot flatter because I didn't. Also, both birds I've tried to do a little bit of feather effect. It's probably more successful in this one, but anyway, I like both of those. We have two quite different sleighs. I think I quite like the idea of doing blue, cold sort of colours and trying to make a silver bottom, but I saw so many sleighs coloured in reds and golds, I just wanted to do that for that one. So I did it differently. It's really nice to see it done in two different ways. I think if I was doing that these days, I would get some blue, black and white pens and make that fluffy on the top of there. That would be fun. Now these are interesting. So this one is gold, but this one is orange. It was never my intention to try and make it gold. I wanted it orange. I don't know why. So I did orange in the background and tried to make a gold top. But here you see I've done silver and gold. So there is actually a tutorial, I think, for the ribbon and for one of the flowers from the middle, I think. Anyway, those are quite dark. I think that's quite nice in the really dark red. Actually, that's got Posca pen and red pen in the centre, so that could be an interesting one to look at if you want to know how to do the centres of those. Now these two are so similar, although we've got bluebirds here, which are different to the robins there. which are interesting, but everything else is pretty close. So that's really interesting. Oh. Okay, we've got this page. Now, that's interesting. This one looks an awful lot neater over here, but I'm still not keen on that background. I'm just really struggle with getting it quite right on this page. I don't know. I'm going to have another go at it sometime and see if I can crack it. Now, we've got our colour test palette. I don't know what's happened to our other rabbit. I must have missed the page out, because we definitely had him in here. Hang on. There he is. I missed the page out. Here they are. Now this one was done using Johanna did a series of tutorials for this page, and the reason I tore it out was because she used a watercolour pencil background, and I had a go borrowing my husband's watercolour pencils. I wasn't too pleased with my effort. I can see what the problem is just by looking at it. I haven't blended it first. I think what I thought was if I did a hard bit I could blend it with water, but I think you need to do quite a lot of the blending work yourself first. So, but I really like this colour scheme actually compared to that one, which is interesting. Anyway, let's go back to the end. We're nearly there. The colour palette test page. Oops. You can see I actually used it here. And I tried whiting out the lines of this to have an experiment to see how it worked, which was quite interesting. But I did colour in this little reindeer here, and these ones on the back. And last of all, this page here I've used glitter pens. And on this page, interestingly, I've just used Fineliners. And actually, I quite like it with just the Fineliners. So there we go. Some of them might have been felt pens actually. In fact, I'm looking, I think they are felt pens, like markers, not fine liners, because they're quite big spaces to fit in. And these are all matching, so these are all the same colours, whereas this is just completely random, which is interesting. So there we go. There are two books. I hope that was interesting for you. I found it really good fun to have a look back and to compare and to see whether, you know, what improvements there are and what differences. So there we go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that was interesting for you, and happy colouring.